'em.
And we are now live.
What's up, everyone out there? Welcome to an episode of Comic Book Weekly, where we got some things to talk about, along with some comic books that we read for this week. But before we get into any of that, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Mike, DudeRock18 on YouTube, or at DudeRock18 on Twitter. Tonight, we have on this side, beside me, Kat.
Hey, guys, what's up?
Yep, and right below me, we have Mike.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the show.
Yes, and it's only the three of us tonight because unfortunately, my brother Chris couldn't make it for personal reasons. And also, Brant won't make it tonight because he had some dental stuff. But, yeah.
That's the light version of it. Brant's in pain. He couldn't be on.
Yes, but hopefully we'll have them on for next week, and we hope for the best for both of them. So let's get the show on the road. So, Kat, we got some news for this week.
Yeah, not a lot, though. But, yeah, guys, as we've been doing, you can ask us questions as we go along. And, yeah, also something we'll mention is that one of our viewers, which I want to get their names. I know his name's Matt, so I think it's like Gaming Matt or whatever. He actually gave us some codes to give away. So we have Dark Agnes issue 1, Tarot issue 2, The Immortal Hulk Great Power, and Ruins of Ravencroft Dracula. All codes from him. Yeah. So thank you. So all you have to do is literally comment. And at the end of the show, we will announce the winner. So yeah, first we're going to start up with some news. And yes, we're going to talk about that big Dan Didio news. So we're going to kind of switch it up, though. I guess let's just start off the show with it. We're going to switch it up. We're not going to talk about, I think everyone's kind of talked about him leaving. What we want to talk about is how is this going to affect DC? So that's literally the topic of our show. But yeah, how do you guys think it's going to...
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Just going to Tevye's comment that he said that he really wanted to hear Chris' thoughts on Dan Didio getting fired. Both him and Brant did a video of their thoughts about it. I believe it was on Dark Avengers 86, so you go check it out there. And hello, NWI Geek, welcome to the show. Glad to have you on.
And we also want to welcome, Tevye, who's always been here, Brett, River City Knoll, Sean B. So thank you for joining us, Alan, the Black Knight. So yeah, we're going to talk about Dan Didio and him leaving. That was crazy news. I feel bad, obviously that happened. And I think I feel even worse for comments online about it. It's just like, I feel like a lot of people haven't treated him as a human being. And I hope people keep that in mind and kind of could separate that with, their fandoms. But yeah, the big question is, where is DC going to go? And this 5G thing, does this even matter? What do you guys think?
I think that obviously they still got to do 5G because it's something that's been in the works forever. So I think it's too late to kind of pull back. I think maybe they can kind of scale back things or something like that, or now they could change it up. But I definitely think it's going to happen. Now, whether it sticks or not in the future is one thing, but this is something that they obviously have to look at. The first things first is obviously trying to find a replacement, right? So it's like, what do you do? Who do you find? Who could it be? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's been lots of talks about certain people, but I don't know, obviously, who would be a good fit. What do you think?
I think they're just going to have Jim Lee take over the whole thing. That's kind of my guess, but I don't know. I think that's probably the route to go. Maybe two people were too much, and Jeff Johns still handling more of the producing aspect. So
it was a real shocker actually to hear about that happening with the whole Dan Didio thing.
Yeah, it is. I guess it's kind of like it was just like all of a sudden. But the problem is what I see when it comes to DC. It's just like there was no real like statement made, or basically like what's next for the company or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, well, see you later. And it's like, no one gets an explanation. Like, no one would care. Like, it's not like it's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? And it is a big deal. I mean, maybe comics are not as mainstream, or maybe AT&T or Warner Brothers didn't think it would be a big deal, but there still needs to be an announcement to, for fans of like why and what's next, right? Wouldn't you agree with that?
I think that DC just didn't know what was going to happen. Like, I think just like Dan Didio was shocked, like that was an announcement that came from the higher ups, and like, oh, what do we do? Maybe Warner Brothers didn't like the direction the comics were going. I don't know if we'll ever know the answer for that, but I am a little upset that DC hasn't made like an official announcement. And I agree, Mike. I feel like they've kind of ignored it right now, but I think it's a strategy that they're just trying to figure out how to pick up the pieces, and they're just going to announce the new guy when they can, or they won't announce anybody. It'll just be Jim Lee. And I think they want to forget about it maybe, which sucks, but I think we'll be interesting. I'm sure Dan Didio will get a job somewhere else, and whatever he's behind is going to be cool. I think he might do indie stuff, just like we've seen with some of the previous heads of like Marvel and other companies as well, where we get to see like these, Aftershocks and AWAs. These companies kind of build up from people that have been in this business for such a long time. So I'm curious to see where he's going to go. And like, I don't think it'll be Marvel, but that would be crazy if it is. But yeah.
I don't think it will be Marvel either. I think it would be more in the independent route as well.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, after being in a major, like in the big two for, as many years as he has, whatever he does, I wish him good luck. I mean, it's tough seeing someone leave. And, I just think it's time for a fresh face over there. But I wish they really did. Like, by now, they should have done. DC should have done something. Like, if they didn't know that he was getting fired and it actually happened, you would think, okay, he's fired. What do we say to our fans out there? Right. I mean, you had Saturday, Sunday, it's Monday, it's going on to Tuesday, and we still haven't made any headway on that. And so that's what's kind of frustrating. And I think, could it be Jim Lee? It could very well be him. But I don't know. I mean, this is a really major thing for them, because you really don't know what's next. What direction do they go? What would the new head's direction be? Jeff Johns for me was always that logical, piece, for the puzzle. But since he's so involved in all
he's one man, right? Like,
yeah. He's involved in all the movie stuff that it's like he can't do all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you need somebody in there who gets the core of the characters. So I
who
think,
is that? I have no freaking clue at this point. Like, who do they have left who's been around in that company for a long time besides Jeff Johns and Jim Lee?
Yeah, I know. And then it's like, do you bring in people that work from Marvel? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, do you do that?
Bendis takes over the company.
I don't think so. I think that maybe they realized that they made a mistake with that.
With Bendis,
yeah.
In general.
Mm-hmm.
I think they thought they were going to make a lot more money than they did. That's for sure. They're talking about 5G in the comments and stuff like that, but I hear, did we lose Mike?
Mike?
Yeah, we lost Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everything's just gonna be rumors up until you get some legit sources. So
yeah, that's the thing. Like, all these rumors that we hear about, it's not, like you said, it's not legit until it's really, it's just really something else with these rumors and all that.
Yeah. Well, any other thoughts on this? I mean, again, I don't know how much else we can speculate. We have a lot of new commenters. Thank you. We have Lee Smith, who just joined us. We have some old commenters like DNGN. So I'm also writing everyone's name to be part of that raffle that we're giving away some Marvel free codes. So,
and once again, welcome. We really appreciate newcomers coming and watching us, and we're just gonna be talking about comics and lots of other things. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
All right. Well, actually, let's go into the other big news that was actually announced today. I don't know if any of you guys care, but Bob Iger, who was the CEO of Disney, is retiring.
So I heard about that.
Yeah. So it's not just DC kind of having some big things happen to them. It's also Disney/Marvel. So do you guys feel like this will change any plans? I don't think it will. I think, he's been around for a long time.
Disney has so many people like down the pipeline that it's kind of just like, all right, you're the next one in line. Have fun. That's my thing.
Yeah, because as long as, it's not going to affect anything with Disney Plus or any other stuff, then, that's fine with it. But, there's just like a lot of stuff, with Disney.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. There's some comments here that I will not be reading.
I'm trying to see this. I'm just trying to read some of these other ones here. I got what Gerald Lane saying. It's possible the parent company has no interest DC Comics other than its other characters' marketing potential and might just sell the comics division to Disney for Marvel to create possibly. Man, if they did that, I don't see it happening. But if they did that, if for some reason, if Disney and like Marvel and DC combined, that would be insane. That would be literally insane.
That would be.
Could you imagine like Batman and Spider-Man working together?
But also like it can't happen because then competition doesn't exist, Right. I think comics literally would go out of business. Like the medium in general would fail if we got to see that happen. Which, like you said, Mike, could we imagine that'd be awesome in like a creative standpoint, but like a business standpoint, yeah, it wouldn't be good because where's the competition?
Right. I mean, the only other thing you would have is obviously independent companies. You know what I'm saying? Like you would just have your Image and Dark Horse and IDW, and you would have those. But between the Disney, say if it was a Disney and Marvel merger, right, it would totally monopolize the industry, and they would be in complete control.
Yeah. So just I guess the moral of the story is rumors are gonna be rumors, and that's it. Especially someone like that it does. It's kind of more fun talk that we can have than. I'm looking at all the comments. Thank you guys for just commenting throughout. And then Bavarian Rev says, "Hey, we got some more older viewers here."
What's up?
I'm trying to keep track of everything. Oh, did you guys see the new images of the Batman suit? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see I did see the one that looked like pencils because people were making like memes of it. But
wait, the Robert Pattinson one, you mean?
Yeah, not the one
they had one on.
Week.
I saw a couple of them. One where he's like on his bike and stuff like that. Yeah, they said it looks like more like 0 Year. That's the kind of image that's the suit that you're kind of looking at now, where it looks like that.
I'm curious. I can't really say anything until we see it, like a real trailer. Did you guys see the death metal stuff? Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that, right? Like
I think we talked about it last week.
Yeah. No. Wasn't it heavy metal?
No, it's death metal.
It's called death metal.
Yeah, it's called death metal. We talked about it last week, how that's the leading thing into 5G. So it's like, again, going back to people who are asking, is 5G still happening? I think it has to happen because it's been in the works for so long that if they pull that, then there's no reason, there's no books for them. So they have to have something.
Like what books are coming out? James Tynion's Batman, even that's probably going to be connected to metal. Like nothing would be coming out for sure. We got this question a while ago, and me and Mike were going to start discussing this pre-show, but I'm like, let's save it for like current show. And Brett was, what books are you guys most excited about outside of Hell Arisen? we are going to talk about what we're excited about, but I actually want to talk about Hell Arisen. So I'm going to be the complete opposite of your comment. But yeah, actually a couple of weeks ago, I went to my store because Chris wanted an issue, and I was like, oh, let me see if I could get two. I don't, it wasn't, it wasn't on my pull originally. So welcome Genesis. And I asked my store, hey, how many like Hell Arisens are you guys going to get? And they that was the day it kind of was announced that Punchline was going to be in it. And they got a flood of people trying to get it. And this book is so under-ordered because DC never gave the notice to retailers that it was going to be a huge book. So it was just ordered like a regular event book. I think my store in particular had like maybe 25 or something and like 18 subscribers for it. So I don't think a lot of people are going to be getting this Hell Arisen. But Mike, are you going to try to get it? Do you know how much your store has?
I mean, I'm super connected to my store, so they usually try to take care of me the best they can. Like even with Batman, like they got in 100 issues of it, and they made sure that I got a copy of it. Even though I always pull it, but they make sure. Hell Arisen might be a different story because it's the same thing. No one bought that flipping book before, people heard of Punchline. So again, they got to put their orders in advance. So I don't know if I'm going to be one of the lucky few to get one of those. I did ask. They did not respond back. So I'll find I'll find out tomorrow when I get my box and see if it is in there or not. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. It's just one of those things that, again, you never expected it to happen. And again, DC missed the boat on it, but it's going to be a valuable issue if the character takes off because it's a low print run, so we'll see.
Supposedly it's like $65 already on eBay, and this is before the Wednesday. So yeah, if you guys can get it, go, try to get it in your store, but just know it's going to be crazy, especially for scalpers. But yeah, let's go on to the next topic because we haven't actually touched too much of the news. So this one Michael wanted to talk about. Tony is going to be resurrected and has a new armor.
Yeah, like I was actually thinking that it's really awesome that, we knew that he was going to come back. I just didn't think it was going to be so soon. But as far as the new armor and everything, I really didn't get a glimpse of the new armor, but just hearing that he was going to be coming back to life in the Marvel comic books, that's actually really interesting to know that. And it might cross over maybe, I don't know if it's going to cross over Iron Man 2020 or...
No, yeah, it's going to be part of that, so...
Right. So that's actually going to be really interesting to see that intertwine with each other when he comes back in the comic book.
Yeah, we'll see. A lot of people are talking about their Hell Arisen stories, so keep those coming. I can't wait to hear it next week.
That's a crazy comment that you just highlighted there. Mm-hmm. Someone on eBay is selling a box of Hell Arisen for $45.
Who wants a box of that?
Who wants a box of that anyway? Like, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. This book is, and then see that it's not even like a big book or Punchline's not even a big character.
I'm
dies.
Curious, what her appearance is going to be in it. Is it going to be just a page? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then how much will Batman issue 90 be if she's in the whole issue, or if it's her origin story? There's so many key issues from it then.
And then you got, I think issue 92 of Batman is her first cover appearance. And then issue 94, I think, is the one
seriously?
Yeah, and then issue 94 is the Art Germ cover, where she's on that one. So there's going to be a lot of Punchline. So be prepared, everybody. Put your orders in now.
Yes, please do. Sweet says, what book is Tony dead in? His own? So Iron Man 2020, but yeah, he is alive in Captain Marvel. I don't know. Continuity doesn't make any sense. Oh, Punchline's origin will be in Joker 80th year special. There you go. Other questions is a new question. Any opinion on the Superman Red Son anime movie? Honestly, I haven't seen it. I really try to watch all of them, but I had no interest for that one. I never really cared about the comic too much. I maybe in the long run I'll check it out, but I don't think I'm going to do a video. I've been kind of swamped with work, and I'm like, spend time watching this movie I don't like, or like actually relax. So I decided not to watch the movie. The other, and I know you guys don't usually watch the DC anime movies either.
No, I don't on a regular basis. No, if I'm lucky, I'll if I happen to catch one on, I might watch it, but I don't go out of my way to watch them.
And then Lee Smith said, "What about Savage She-Hulk show?" Well, we knew there was going to be a She-Hulk show, and I know there was a rumor that Allison Brie from the Glow show and from Community, like they want her to be in the show, which I think would be such cool casting. Because I mean, not that she's a girl next door, like plain Jane actress, but she could play that role, and I know that's kind of something that she's shoehorned into sometimes. So. And that is Jen to a T when she's not She-Hulk. At least that's what she was introduced as. So yeah, I think that'd be a really cool casting if they end up going that direction.
Definitely.
Let's see. We have Gotham City Comics, who says they pushed the Art Germ cover to 92.
Oh, did they?
Interesting. Gotcha. I guess they are trying to spread the love with the money there. And then some other questions here. Did you guys hear Eli Roth is making a Borderlands movie? I've never played the game.
Yeah, I mean, I never did either. Probably Mike has, though, did you?
No, I was like saying I saw some gameplay of Borderlands, but I didn't actually know it was going to be made into a movie. I don't know how that's probably going to be possible, but I mean, unless they're going to use like CGI effects and whatnot. But I think that's pretty cool. They're making a Borderlands movie based off of that. So we'll see if it pulls through.
Guys, we are 5 years away from 40. Invite your friends. And thank you so much for watching.
Wow, that's really awesome.
Right? That's crazy. And again, guys, if you comment, you'll get some free digital codes from Marvel. So be sure to comment.
We kind of spread the wealth this time around. It was like we gave away digital codes. Now that person that won is giving away digital codes. So maybe this is something we'll do on a regular basis. At least give you guys something for try to win something for watching.
Yeah, I definitely don't mind doing it because I know me and Mike, we don't use our digital codes, and if we can help other people read books that they wouldn't have, and also comment on the show and start a conversation, we're so willing and love to do that. So let us know if you'd like us to do it. Maybe we'll try again next week.
Yeah, the only thing that sucks about the digital codes is when you peel them off, sometimes they don't come out right.
Yeah,
you got to be slow with it.
Oh man,
slow and steady.
Here's the Type B cover. Oh, I guess they're just showing some covers for Batman. We have a lot of comments, but I'm going to go to the next subject, and that's Locke and Key Sandman crossover, and Mike wanted to discuss that.
Yeah, so I don't read Sandman, don't know shit about it, right? Never had any interest in reading it, but it's crossing
Love that
over.
Locke and Key.
It's crossing over with Locke and Key, so somehow I'm going to have to understand what the Sandman is or whatever the hell it's about, but for them to bring back Locke and Key for this, I'm on board with it. So whatever I have to do to understand Sandman, maybe they'll do
buy
a little
all of it.
description. No, I am
Chris
not buying it. That shit's been around forever, man. So
yeah,
I'm just going to do whatever it is that I can, but hopefully I'll understand it. I'm excited for it though.
No, I was just saying that Chris reads Sandman. Like maybe he could get you up to speed about Sandman a little bit.
Do a rundown a bit. I know he reads. Has he read all of Sandman? I know he reads the current Sandman.
I think so. I'm not really too sure, but I know he reads the Sandman universe comic books.
Yeah, he reads the Dreaming and all that. I do want to thank Radio Matt Gaming once again. He says he'll send more codes, so thank you so much for spreading the love there. We have a couple more comments here. Let's see. I feel like I missed some. Black Knight, Suicide Squad issue 3 comes out tomorrow. You guys reading this? If not, shame on you. It's great.
Oh, hell yeah.
I am reading it.
I'm reading it.
Yeah. Mike likes it a bit more than I do. I hope I love it soon, though. I love the art, though. Oh, Oh, Brant's on.
Brant's here.
Such a liar.
Oh, man.
He's not coming on.
Or he's
screen,
like
though.
here by accident.
Yeah, he said he's not coming on screen.
Understandable. Yeah, is he gonna try?
Oh.
I'm gonna make him add himself, maybe.
I don't know.
Let me add him. Brant, you there? I hear him clicking. And then I heard a little noise.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought I was muted.
No,
Oh,
you're there.
okay, you're good now, though,
There you
Brant. Welcome.
Yeah,
Hey, Brian, glad to have you on.
yeah. I'm just popping on for a second, so I'm sorry. So I had to interrupt the show.
No problem. We're glad you're here for the second appearance.
Yeah.
And feel better.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right.
All right.
Let's
So our
see.
next, what are you gonna say, Brant?
Nothing. I'm trying to do something for you guys because it looks weird with 3 screens. There you go. So
That's the real reason. he
that'll
came
work
on, is
better
if
for
you're
you.
not doing your job correctly.
Yeah.
So y'all have a good show. Hey,
All
everybody.
right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, no
Thank
problem.
you.
So, yeah.
Bye.
All right. So next is
Yeah, I don't look bald anymore with the banner over my head.
that's true. You looked a little bald. Next is Gerald Lane, who says, "What did you guys think of Swamp Thing, the series, the TV show? I only saw the pilot and I didn't really like it. Did anyone else see it?
Nope.
There you go.
Unfortunately not. It's one of those things where I heard so much negativity about it, and it's hard for me to honestly watch TV. It's like
You
here's
watch more
my
than
life.
me sometimes, though.
Teach
So, like
tennis.
that says something.
Yeah, teach tennis, do YouTube, and be a dad and a family man. I don't have time all the time to watch TV, so it's very hard for me to watch TV. Whenever I watch a series, it sets me back from all the other stuff that I have to do. So it's tough sometimes.
The other question was, you guys ever read the X Factor investigations? I haven't.
The one by Peter David, X Factor Investigations?
I think that was just a regular X Factor. I think that was the older, maybe that's an older X Factor series.
Oh, that was the older one. Then no, I never read that.
Let's see. Anyone pull the new TMT Jenica series? I know Chris is definitely getting that.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
don't think
he's
any of us.
definitely getting it. I don't think I'm getting it.
Yeah, me either. Not a TMNT fan. Maybe Brant will get it. Who's doing the art on Suicide Squad? Bruno something. I don't remember his last name. And what did you guys think of Titan Season 2? I didn't finish it, and I heard I wouldn't like it, the ending, from friends that know me well. So I've been hesitant to watch it, but I'm sure when I have interviews to do, I'll probably binge watch it. But I don't think you guys... Are you going to keep your DC Universe subscription, Mike? Or do you feel like you don't use it enough?
I share it.
Oh, okay. So never
Share it
mind.
with Chris.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah. Yeah. So
gotta log in.
whenever he's done using it, I'm done using it.
I recommend Harley Quinn, though. So freaking
Yeah,
good.
I know.
Yeah.
I've heard that, and I just haven't had time to dive into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's one that's really quick too. If you just like eating lunch or something and just
Right.
want to watch something, it's a good show. But I definitely get it. But it should be on your radar. The last news piece here is Nonstop Spider-Man's getting an ongoing series, and the description is just action. And I love Spider-Man. All of us here love Spider-Man, but I don't know. I don't think I need this series. Will I pick it up? Hell yeah, I'm gonna try it out. But am I gonna keep reading it? I don't know. This is a lot of Spider-Man, especially for a description like that. It's like more action. It's just like, what is this book about?
Joe Kelly's fine, but Bocciolo does the artwork.
Ugh, that too,
And
yeah. And nothing against the artist. Sorry, that sounded horrible.
I'm just not into his art for a Spider-Man book. Maybe for other books, it's fine. But for Spider-Man, it's just weird. Even like if you see his artwork in Deadpool, it just doesn't quite fit it right. You know what I'm saying? So for
he did horror.
Spider-Man,
I feel like it would fit so much better. Like it's like superhero books. It doesn't work.
Right. Yeah. Horror would be great. And I remember when I got back into comics in like 2000 something, he did that work with that storyline shed with
Mhm.
and I remember reading it and I'm like, wow, this is weird. You know what I'm saying? And then he's done other Spider-Man issues and I read them and I'm just like, man, oh man. And it's just like, I'm definitely going to try it out because it's just like any other Spider-Man series. You know, you're going to try it and see how it is. I hope it's just well written, that the writing takes over the artwork, and but we'll see. It is. It seems like it's an Action Comics of Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, but it's just like even Action Comics is not really
Well,
an action book anymore. It's just
That's a whole different story in itself.
yeah, that's a whole different story for sure. But also going back to the art, if it's an action-driven book, art it has to, shoulder a lot of that story. So
Absolutely.
all right, but we got some comments here. What's your Michael, you had an opinion on that one too? Are you gonna pick it up?
No.
Okay.
I might take a look at it probably, but
Okay.
not. I'll just see how it goes.
The next comment is, what's your opinion on Stars since issue 2 is coming out tomorrow? I dropped it.
I am actually picking it up because I want to see how issue 2 is going to pan out. Like, I want to see if she treats the Reality Stone like the Reality Stone and not the Mind Stone. Maybe it's her that is thinking that she can control people's minds with it. And that's why she's asking, or to try to take over people's minds. She doesn't get what the stone actually is. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But if it's just way off base and I don't like the character or the way it's written, I'll drop it. But I want to give it a second issue.
And Brant did like Star as well. And then there's another comment, a question, and we'll go into our Under the Radar. Sweet Extra says, you guys should start reviewing classic DC stories on DC Universe app that you've never read before. I think we've tried doing stuff in the past, and it just doesn't seem like our viewers care for it, just because our channel's known for more newer comics. So, yeah, sadly, I don't see us doing that.
I've done a classic series before here on on the Frontline channel, as on the group channel, and just like certain things just don't work on the channel for some reason. I don't know what it is, but so that's why we've stuck to basically just like a topic here and there, and our live show, as where we are a bunch of YouTubers that come together and bring you this show each week, and it's streamed obviously on Comic Frontline and on my channel. So, and we're glad we can bring this to you guys, at least.
Yeah,
Definitely.
It's what we found success with. It's what we particularly enjoy putting our time into as well, because we're all very busy people here. So it also has to do with like what we have fun doing, and that stuff we have fun doing.
Even though my channel is mostly kind of video games and not comic books.
What happened?
No, I'm like saying, even though my channel is like mostly video games and not much of comic books.
Well, that's what you do here for us.
Yeah, but I'm a wide variety type of guy, and I like superheroes and reading comics. So, it's like my off the side videos.
For sure. I feel like I saw another comment, but I think DNGN says, unless she joined Runaways, and that's for Star. See, then you just ruined Runaways for me. I just don't like Star. I don't know. I've tried. I don't like her.
She might become the best character ever. You gotta give her time to write the character.
No, I'm good. I gave her a couple issues. Maybe if you guys say she's spectacular. Brant says, we've tried so many things on this channel, but yeah, we finally leaned into our strengths and what you all seem to connect with. Yeah. All right, so I guess we're gonna go into some under the radar books. Make her a villain on Runaways.
Just do it for cash.
Just for me.
All right.
I'm sorry that my whole entire family has not walked past this camera. If you haven't noticed. Anyways, going to Under the Radar.
All right. So Under the Radar, where we talk about books that we read. And let's get into my book first. So mine I want to talk about for this week's Under the Radar is Cobra Kai, the Karate Kid Saga Continues, issue number 3. So this is more along the lines of how Johnny wants to get back with Allie because she's with Daniel LaRusso. And we see how he gets trained for the tournament as well. Like, as he's getting ready for that, like the one from a long, long time ago as well. And I liked how they showed some bits of the movie that we actually seen and others that we did not see, that long ago. And I also like how Johnny Sensei talked about how he had a loved one of somebody and how he felt about that as well. And everyone suggests to Johnny, his sensei, and his dad just to forget about her because she's basically a distraction to him of training for the tournament against Daniel LaRusso. So, however, there was one part of the comic where Ali was not happy with Daniel about something, and since she was crying, it looks like that Johnny saw it, and this could have an opening to talk to her. And I don't know about getting together with him, but that's where it was left off to be continued. But this was an excellent issue. We have one more issue to go until it ends, and it's sad because I really am enjoying reading this comic book along with watching the movie a long time ago.
Yeah, the show. Are you gonna watch the show?
Huh?
Are you gonna watch the show?
I've actually seen a little bits and pieces of it on YouTube. Like, I haven't subscribed to the YouTube Red, but I really do want to see the whole.
I think they're free. 1. I think like after a while they just post it for free. It's just for like, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but no, I actually saw some bits and pieces of season 1, which was really good, and the ending, oh boy. And she's actually gonna make an appearance, I think, in the next season, Allie. So, with that phone call.
Guess we'll see.
Brant said before, he's like, sweep the leg.
Okay, so Mike, what's your under the radar book for this week?
Mine is actually, and I want to let people know again that to go out and buy this book, and it's Justice League issue 41. I think we're on the series. I think Robert Venditti is doing a really great job with it, even though we're only 2 issues with his creative team. It's kind of a breath of a fresh air of not this overly complex story that Scott Snyder created. You know what I'm saying? It's this Justice League. It's fighting Eradicator Superman. The Daxamites are coming. They're trying to take over Earth. It's something that you've seen a billion times before, but you know what? It's just fun. And it's cool to see like the Justice League team up. And you know what? I really miss the Green Lanterns, man, because when I saw John Stewart in there and he's putting out his construct, I was just like, I just felt something was missing inside my heart just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, dude, I really miss a Green Lantern and I want him back. But we get to see Eradicator Superman get the upper hand at the end of this issue, and they actually capture Wonder Woman. And it's just really a lot of fun. And Batman was being captured and all kinds of stuff. So great stuff here. I love it. And hopefully I'll continue to like this series, going forward with it. So
I hope so too.
Yeah.
We'll
Go
see.
ahead, guys. Pick up Justice League.
Oh,
all right. So, is it me freezing?
No, I think Mike's freezing.
All right. So,
yeah,
Kat. All right. So, Kat, what's your under the radar book for this week?
Mine was Family Tree issue 3, which I guess it's good that Mike's on here because he hasn't picked up this issue yet, and I don't want to spoil it for him. But this book is
issue 4. Family Tree.
Issue 4. Issue 4. Yeah. I really enjoy this book, and I thought the cliffhanger was pretty crazy with the grandfather. Like, is he gonna die or not? We'll have to see. And I like that we're learning more about the tree heritage. And it's just a really fun book, but it's a really intense book. There's some really good character beats overall. I think the artwork fits really well for it, and I feel like the speed of the book is really good too. Like the mom's already kind of learning about her husband or ex-husband. I feel like other series would, draw that out. So it's cool that I think the beats are really good for this. So pretty good book.
Yeah, I actually read this book also, and what I liked about this book, we learned about a group called the Arborists who want to actually, and they're like these type of groups that have been wanting to take, whatchamacallit, like they were going after Meg because she has like a bunch of the tree stuff and everything. So, just to see that in the book was like really, really intense. I mean, the artwork, I don't know. I felt like this issue was kind of a little different. Like, I'm not saying it was bad or good. Like, I just thought it was okay, the artwork. But the story altogether was really good. And definitely can't wait to see how the next issue is going to play out. Like you said, with the grandfather, that he was pummeled. And
Yeah,
not a
see
good
if he
ending.
survives or not. I'm sure he will, but I really love
Probably.
that dynamic between the dad and him too, and like all those emotions there. We do have a question. Hopefully Mike will return soon. How do you think Joker knowing Dick Grayson is Nightwing will affect the War of Jokers arc in Nightwing comic? Also, Joker has to know that Bruce is Batman now, right? Yeah, I think he does know. I think that was kind of announced during the Tom King ending, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited. That's what I actually enjoyed about that book, was that ending.
Yeah, so I mean that would be really intense to like that's really intense to know that actually happened in the Batman or Nightwing comic book, but in the Batman franchises and stuff.
Tevia says, will Joker go after Tim Drake Robin? It looks like he's going after everybody, but I don't know because Tim doesn't have his own series. He has Young Justice, but I don't see them doing this in Young Justice.
No, I don't think he'd go after Tim Drake for I don't know. I don't think he would, because then that would mean that he would have to go after then.
Well, he's going after everybody, it seems, because he knows everybody. He knows everyone in the Bat family's secret identities. So it looks like he's going to go after them, but I don't know if it's going to be in an individual book or not. I know in Batgirl and Nightwing, well, Batgirl, I know that the Joker is going to appear. So I think it's definitely going to be dealt with there. But other than that, I'm not sure.
No, I'm just saying, because when the whole confrontation with Joker and Jason Todd happened, this was under the Red Hood movie. Jason Todd almost killed him. So I don't think it would be a smart idea to go after Jason Todd, because he used to be a Robin.
Well, also Joker killed Jason Todd, so either side might not be good. Universal says maybe Joker will appear up in Teen Titans. Maybe. It'll be interesting to see if they tie into any of the books. So, Mike, we're talking about the Joker ending of Batman. Someone asked if they think they'll go after Nightwing or Tim or whatever. I said, we'll see. I think maybe in the main book, but I don't know about their individual books. I think only Batgirl and Nightwing have arcs that they've announced.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it would kind of suck if they crossed it over into other books. That would be kind of like the New 52 run, right? When it was like, what was it, Death of the Family or something like that, or Death in the Family. Well, I don't know. I always get those ones confused. I hope it just stays within the main book. It would be better that way, I think, because then it's just like you don't have to buy a shit ton of books just to follow the story. You know what I'm saying?
We'll see. But that was all the under the radar. So we're going to go into our big books.
All right, guys.
And top five.
In top five.
So time for the top books. If you guys want to put down your top five, or at least your number five, while we talk about our number five, that would be awesome. Or any books that
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt you. There will be spoilers.
Oh,
spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't got the spoiler alert, so boom, boom.
Yeah. Spoilers. So,
sorry, Mike.
So if you guys want to put down, any of the books that you really enjoyed this week, or whatever the case may be, of course we'll shout you out. So obviously, let's talk about the first big book, because we were just talking about it. We were talking about Batman and stuff like that. So Batman issue 89 came out. Michael, did you read Batman or no? Okay. So Catherine, what did you think about Batman this week?
I didn't love it, honestly. I really liked the ending, but that was like just the last panel. Everything else, I think it lost a lot of momentum. It was just really an action issue. I don't really feel like much story happened in this one, but It was good action. Just didn't really pique my interest too much besides that Joker stuff.
So we knew that Joker was going to be there, right? So what I liked about this book is I like how Tinian has made this into a Batman book again. Yes, I know this was an action-heavy type of issue, but the way he writes the characters feels like it's Batman, right? He's doing his investigative work. He's trying to find out what's going on. Tinian has introduced new characters like this Grand Designer, this Punchline. We get to see Catwoman in this issue team up with Harley. And last week I made this a point. I said, if you write Harley, you need to write her like how she is in Batman, or do you write her the way she is in her own individual series? And the Harley I like is the way she was written in this particular issue. She is not really forced humor. It's just a organic humor in the way she is. And I love that. That's the Harley that I enjoy. And I wish she was written like that consistently across the board in DC Comics. So again, going back to DC, hopefully that's what happens in the future. But I enjoyed that. And we get to see that Catwoman is definitely afraid of what's going to happen to Penguin, or I'm sorry, Riddler and the other characters in the book. And she's just frightened, and Batman's trying to figure out everything that's going on. I love the mystery behind this book. And the artwork is absolutely top notch in here as well. So again, I feel like Tinian's doing a great job at making Batman fun again. Yes, there's a lot of speculation because of the new character, but it's also a fun story to read, and I like that. Definitely a much positive direction than where it was going before.
We do have two questions before we get to our next book. DNGN says, do you think the Batman Who Laughs has kind of killed the Joker's momentum? We can't miss Joker if a Joker-Batman hybrid is in every book. I mean, I didn't read it, so not for me, but maybe for other people following that story.
I didn't read too much Joker, the Batman Who Laughs myself, but I agree. I feel like he's oversaturated, at least that particular version of the character. So I just find it nice to have at least Joker back, the original Joker. So we'll see what happens with it. Again, I think they need to tone down the Batman Who Laughs, but obviously we're not going to get that if Death Metal is coming out, right?
Yeah,
so
just
that's
more. I don't see the popularity of him. He does not entertain me.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but it is what it is.
The other question or kind of comment is that Ant-Man 2 comes out tomorrow. Who wants to see bug people? So I'm just going to kind of take it as who's reading Ant-Man issue 2. I think, are you going to read it? Oh yeah, you liked it. You liked it, Mike. Yeah, I'm going to read it. I mean, Cassie will be in it at some point, so of course I'm gonna read it.
Well, I don't think it's like the book that blows people away. It's a lighthearted book, right? And that may not be, the artwork may not be suitable for everybody, but it fits the tone of the book. It's kind of reminds me of a Saturday morning cartoon in a way. But I like the humor of it, and I'm curious to see who these bug people are. But if it doesn't keep my interest, then I won't hesitate to drop that either.
I will hesitate, so I can't drop it, but I don't know if I'll love it. All right, I think we're going on to the next one. Of course, Chris is the guy who would actually want to discuss this most of all, but we'll be in his place to talk about it.
So, fans in the comments, what'd you think about Wolverine? Right. Wolverine consisted of 2 stories. It was a book that was $8. Okay. And I felt like, I liked Wolverine. I liked it. And I liked the Omega Red story more than I liked the Pollen story. Because I just like Omega Red as a character, and I love the interaction between those 2 characters because they have this huge history with each other. And so kind of like those interactions between each other was outstanding there. But with 2 stories being told, where does it take place? Does one take place in X-Force, or does it both take place in the X-Men book? That's where I was kind of confused on, right? Because it's two separate stories. What did you get out of that, Kat?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that was the biggest downfall, is that there was two stories. I kind of just took the first one as the main story and the second one as just like a story. But there was nothing that truly grabbed me here. And maybe it was kind of like the X-Force factor, one of the reasons I didn't like that book. But yeah, I couldn't get into it. Like, it wasn't bad. I think there was entertaining parts. Like, I like that he wakes up and, well, first of all, he's happy. I thought that was very interesting. And then he wakes up, he's like, oh, I killed all my friends. What happened? So, of course, Wolverine can't be happy. But is that enough for me to say, let me pick up issue 2 and put this on my pull list? Not for me, honestly, just because there's so many X-Men books out there.
Right.
It didn't really give me enough.
I don't think this book needed to be as long as it was. I just think it should have been a 32-page or a 40-page book, and we could have been absolutely fine with that. I think that's part of the turnoff for me when it came to this one too, because it did take me a couple days to read it. Like, I read one story and then I read the other story. And
I had to read it first just to kind of, I knew it was going to be long. So
right,
right.
right.
Get away.
So, I mean, I don't like when comics go that long. I don't think there's a necessary reason for it.
I think the only time it ever worked was Kill or Be Killed, because you're like so sucked into the book. You're like, oh, that was 40 pages. What? And also, it wasn't $8. It was like $3.99 for that first issue.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to continue reading it because I like Percy's writing. I think it definitely has potential, but in a smaller scale. Like, if you want to tell a larger story, that's fine. Just make more issues of it. Right. We don't need a gigantic first issue and spend $8 on it, plus all the variant covers and everything else. So Comic Universal says, I like the Pollen story, but not care for the Omega Red story. And the only thing I liked is that it might have a setup, a X-Men vs. Dracula series, because I like the Avengers War of Vampires arc.
You also have a couple more. I do like Ben Percy, though. And then Sean B says, I enjoyed Wolverine, but I'm biased. Longtime fan. The government agent reminded me of the Dude.
Gotcha.
Cool.
So that's how we feel about Wolverine. I definitely not going to drop it after one issue, but Kat's not that, not a huge.
Not that type of gal.
If Kitty Pryde was in it, it'd be a different story.
She was in it, but
yeah, but I mean, like, for real in it.
Oh yeah, no, I buy it.
Oh yeah, I'm getting in the boat. That's all it was.
Yeah, she's like, all right, let's get drunk, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And she was somehow still alive. We'll talk about that, I'm sure.
Yeah, see, again, I don't know when it takes place, so it's just weird.
Yeah.
I think maybe it was in the beginning of, like, maybe that story took place right when the first X-Force issue came out, because remember when Wolverine was just like, oh, when you're on Krakoa, you go soft and you don't know, you can't let your guard down. Well, he kind of says the same thing in this Wolverine issue too. He kind of reiterates that. So maybe it takes place around that timeline.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess you'll have to let us know, Mike.
Yeah, I'll let you know. All right, so speaking of that, number 5 on the list. Michael, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is Van Helsing versus the League Monsters issue number 1, which I'm actually excited about. That Zenescope actually brought out another Van Helsing so quickly, it seems. And it starts off where there's this guy in jail that we, that people said that he's like some kind of monster and that he committed a crime by speaking out against the governments and stuff like that. And he's also the guy that was put away by Van Helsing. So we see that Dracula from Van Helsing versus Dracula's daughter, that Dracula is in it along with, the followers that are with him as well. And Charlotte's with him because they were like having like this team together. And they said to the guy in the prison that, we could bring you Van Helsing because he doesn't like vampires very much. So he's like saying, like just to get that out, because either you team up with us, because if you try to beat us, it's like impossible, or you could get Van Helsing. And, there's like a lot of things where they meet up with Hellchild. So they're trying to form a people who are trying to go against Van Helsing, and it's going to be like a huge riot that goes on with that as well. What I liked about it is that we see Robin Hood in this issue fighting against Mina, who Van Helsing is looking for, and the serum that she has to give her from the doctor. And you know, the thing about this issue was that, like, she wants to help Mina, but the whole demonic entity that's in her is kind of like that. And also kind of funny how Robin Hood doesn't like spiders. I actually thought that was actually funny because I thought she wasn't afraid of anything, Robin Hood, but fun fact for that. And then Julie makes a call to Van Helsing saying that they did something because she has like that thing, if you saw from Dracula's daughter, and that's where it was to be continued. So I thought it was a very good issue and excellent artwork nonetheless.
Very good. Awesome. All right, Kat, what's yours?
You guys are going to be shocked, but I had a lot of good books this week, and it is Runaways, issue 30, right?
Wow.
Not number one, not number two, not number three, not even number four.
Number five.
Number five. Yeah, I mean, it was a solid issue, but the plot didn't move too much in this one. And again, there's a lot of good books that came out this week for me. But this issue, we get to see the team goes off into a mission, and it looks like Doc Justice wants to kill them all off because he's in the market of trying to make these superheroes popular, and the only way to make superheroes popular is to kill them off. So it's very much this, I would say, meta storyline about comic books in general, but it's a lot of fun, and there's a good Carolina and Nico scene, and there's a lot of humor in it, but not a lot of progression in this one, but really excited for that finale. And there's, as always, a lot of good character moments. Oh, also we have Brandt's top 5 too. So I don't know. Did anyone copy and paste that? I have to go into our messenger. So Mike, after you give yours, I'll read off Brandt's.
All right. So my number 5 was actually Valkyrie, issue 8. So we're on.
I keep getting confused. I keep thinking it's issue 9 for some reason.
Yeah.
I feel like we're more issues in than we actually are.
Yeah, this one was kind of cool as you get to see like Valkyrie try to do battle against, I don't know, whatever it was, these
like goop, we'll call it.
Yeah, these things that's brought to life by this stuff. I don't even know. But what was kind of cool is you get to see a team up. It was like almost like an Avengers book. Because you get to see Captain America in
better
there.
Than an Avengers book.
What's that?
I said better than
an
Avengers book.
You get to see Captain America in there. Spider-Man was in there, and it was just a well-written book. It was just a lot of fun. I mean, I really enjoyed it. And again, I thought that Jason Aaron obviously like writes this, and he wrote a great Spider-Man in here. He was like very funny. At times,
but not too over the top. I felt like he was like the perfect amount.
Yeah, his wittiness was perfect in here, and I really enjoyed it. And the artwork in this book is it's so beautifully drawn. I love it each and every time, and just like Jane Foster's like facial expressions and everything were really good. And the freaking horse, he's hilarious too. Like he's so good in here. Like it's such a good book. I love this book. You know. So
yeah,
looking forward to more.
For sure. What I really loved about this, and I think this book in general, is just the quick transition between Jane and Valkyrie, that they're not the same person, but obviously they are the same person, and showing their similarities and differences. And like that moment where that guy dies and Jane quickly changes into her human form.
Yeah.
You're like, I have to be Jane for this. And obviously just seeing Thor and Jane hang out. And I love the opener because it just totally leads into Thor and Jane teaming up. Is they're talking about their love life, and it's just like a perfectly written book. It just like it's structured really well. The character beats are really good. And if you're not reading this, I particularly think this is probably the best written superhero book. It might not be everyone's favorite. It is one of my favorites, but I think it's just such a well-crafted book.
Yeah, I think the pacing is really well done. It just has a nice balance of action, humor, you know, it's got real good emotion in there as well. So I think it's pretty good. The cat freeze.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
it was glitching, the stupid comment. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good now. I heard
Okay.
everything you said. I don't know why I froze.
Yeah, that's funny. All right. So Brant's number 5. Did you find it?
Yes. His number 5 is Marauders issue 8.
Gotcha. So do you want to talk about Marauders?
Oh, I think I'm behind. I'm gonna come back on.
Okay.
I'll be back.
So she'll be back. So Michael, you don't obviously read Marauders, but I read Marauders, but we'll wait for Kat to come back on here. So let's see. Oh, what's that?
I'm back.
Oh, okay. So what did you think of Marauders?
Marauders, I was honestly surprised by how good it was, because I was like, Kitty's dying. How do I feel about this? But I loved everyone's reactions, and it was like kind of this slow-paced issue of everyone kind of realizing, oh shit, she's dead. This person I really care about is dead. And there's some really good moments, like Emma's like, to me, my Marauders, and she's like lying on the ground, crying to herself. And there's obviously the mystery, is Kitty dead? Especially with the whole Lockheed ending of like, he's still alive. So how's Kitty dead? And, is Kitty like in Lockheed somehow? I don't know. I feel like her soul's probably like in him, which would be really creepy. But that's like, I feel like where it's going.
Yeah,
but
it's kind of weird. Yeah, it's just I love the emotional beats with Emma and Storm.
That was such a good scene.
That was really good. I mean, she's just like, Storm is just like, where were you in all this? Like, you're off doing your fashion stuff. And she's like, I was working. And, Storm was like, why did you put her in this position when she was vulnerable? And she was like, yeah, you guys were the ones that were supposed to protect her. Like, they were just so angry about the whole situation. And I think what's good about this issue is Iceman. Like, Iceman he froze everybody basically to frostbite, and you could see honestly how strong Iceman actually is. Can you imagine if he was a bad guy? He could freeze your ass and he could just rip your limbs off, and that's what he did to one of those soldiers in this issue. And so it was just so intense this whole time when he was using those powers. So I really like that part of the book too, man. It was really good. With Lockheed,
it was just really raw in general.
Yeah,
I felt it was good.
Yeah, and I feel like with Lockheed, it's you could be right, man. It could be her spirit is in there somehow.
That'd be weird as shit, but oh my God, am I keep pausing?
Yeah, you keep going in and out, and now you're gone, and now we're just here.
You're up to 2 mics, Eminem.
The Eminem.
Like that show we were going to do like years ago.
What's going on with my connection?
What's the matter?
I do not know what's going on with my connection, but I'm back for now.
All right.
Cat got connection problems.
See, you guys are still going slow for me.
Yeah, you keep on going in and out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change my internet connections. I'll be back in a second, I guess.
Okay.
All
right. So Michael, we're gonna move on to your number 4 when somebody comes back. So what's yours?
So my number 4 for this week is Conan the Barbarian, issue number 13. So it starts off where I'm guessing it was like kind of a new story arc, because it's like we were with Conan that he was challenged by, lifting a rock contest and then fighting Jara, and we couldn't understand their languages because they speak a different language. So, but we get introduced to someone who does translate the language, Dillion, I think that's what his name was, and Conan becomes the People's Champion, not to quote The Rock, from WWE, calling People's Champion, but seriously, that's what he was called in the book, the People's Champion. And what Dillion showed him was like this maze from one of the gods. I cannot remember for the life of me all these names. But Conan refused to do that because both him and Dillion, after he was being known as a sacrifice, you know, they both fell into the hole because it was kind of like that much of a sacrifice. And they meet people down there trying to survive, but they can't trust anything down there. So as the story progresses on and on and on, Conan gets stabbed with a dark blade. This must have been like the 5th or 6th time he'd been stabbed and proclaimed to be dead or whatever through his chest. And it's to be continued.
No.
I mean, it was an all right issue,
right?
Nonetheless.
So, so guys, thanks for giving us your top 5 and things like that. Really appreciate it. Great job on the comments, everybody, as well. So we're trying to highlight them so everyone can see them. Comic Universal said, and I know Kat highlighted just a minute ago, Mike, I don't know why, but I cannot bring myself to like Marauders. Everyone says it's great, and I love Bishop and Iceman. I also like Duggan as a writer, but I just don't like it. I dropped it at issue 4. I can see that because it is a very political heavy book.
Definitely not for everybody.
Once you kind of got through that Sebastian Shaw and his son nonsense, I feel like now the book has picked up again. But again, it wasn't my favorite X-Men book either. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely can understand that.
We also have another comment from Comic Universal about Conan. Yeah, the Conan is a new story arc because Aaron left the book. Also, they changed artists, and even though I like the new story, I hate how this new guy draws Conan. He looks so cartoony. So there you go. I think Michael's the only one who reads Conan here.
Right. And then River City Null said Plunge issue 1 was his number 4.
Cool.
Loving the Joe Hill books. I like that book too. I just think it was just a lot of setup. It wasn't in my top 5. And I think the next issues are going to get better. I liked it, but I felt like there was too much going on and it kind of overwhelmed me a little bit, but I'm definitely on board with it though. Let's see what else. If you smell what the barbarian is cooking. And Genesis number 4 is Captain Marvel issue 15. And Moon Knight 101A says, when is the next issue of Savage Avengers?
That's definitely a Michael question if he knows. I
think it's soon. I think I remember seeing it. It might be next week, I think.
Let's see. Savage, I don't even know what issue we're up to. So,
Right.
Yeah, that doesn't help. So, sorry. But Preview World is your friend. If you know what issue number it is, that's where all the dates are. That's Diamond's distributors. Like, that's what retailers use is that website. So, those are usually the correct dates.
All right.
Yeah.
So, we'll talk about... We're going to just talk about the number 4 before we talk about DC's Unkillable. So I got Michael's number 4 while you were gone. So what's your number 4?
My number 4 was Marauders. So we already talked about it.
Okay. And what was my number 4?
Oh, we also skipped the Undiscovered Country and Flash Forward. So
okay.
Do those.
Oh, my number 4 was Marauders also.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then all right. So we're going to talk about Flash Forward and Undiscovered Country, which I didn't read it. That's the one book I didn't read.
No one's going to talk about that.
I didn't read it. And I think I've made a decision now that I don't want to read it anymore. Even other people that review it on YouTube still say it's just not that great. So I think I'm going to drop it.
It's so sad too, because that's so much potential. We were so excited about it, but it's slow. I don't hear anyone really talking about it besides like, oh, it's going to have a TV show or a movie, whatever it is.
Right. Tevius, number 3, Spawn issue 305, Spawn and She-Spawn going to war is epic, and I love it. Pretty cool.
Cool.
Pretty cool. So let's talk about Flash Forward issue 6.
I'm surprised you read it. I guess because it was a big book.
I did read it because I wanted to see how it ended, and I like the cover of it, so that's why honestly I bought it. And then I decided to read it because I was like, why not? I read the first issue. Why not read the last issue? And I'm glad that's all I read because that's all I needed to read.
Yeah, you did not need to read anything else besides those. You did not miss anything.
Right. So you get to see Flash's kids. He gets to spend the day with his kids. He's on this Earth that somehow is connected to his powers. Like he created this Earth, and the only way he could beat it from the dark multiverse taking over it is he had to be part of the Morbius Chair. So we get to see that dude that's from Sideways take his kids back to normal Earth, and we get to see them being dropped off back to Linda Park, right? And then they get reunited with their mother, and everything's kumbaya there. We get to see the Flash in the Morbius Chair, and now he's like Dr. Manhattan now. So, because he's got the little symbol, he's blue and shit. And so he takes off on his little chair, and that's basically about it. That's all that happened. So I guess that's going to lead into 5G, or if that is another
Free Comic Book Day, I think that's going to be the story, which I would say out of all the issues, this is probably the best issue, which is not saying much by any means, because I think the most happens in this issue. But as a series, it makes absolutely no sense that you have the most story and the most cliffhangers in your last issue. So it's just like, you're asking me to buy another book after I just spent my money for 6 issues.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of gets you really frustrated where you're like, maybe I don't care. And that sucks because it's obviously a big DC story, but it was cool to see the kids back. Like, I hope they appear in something else, but I don't know if I could care less about what's going to happen to Wally West at this point.
Yeah, it's almost like you could have just made this its own series, right? Because this would be like the end of a story arc, and then
which would have been fine.
Continues, right?
Yeah.
But it just ends, and now you have to, find this, find out what's next in the.
You have to go to a Free Comic Book Day, which you can't even guarantee that everyone's going to get that issue. It's just like you can't even buy that book, which is kind of the sucky thing about Free Comic Book Day is that there is not a lot of opportunities to get it besides going Saturday to your store, and sometimes they run out. And what luck do you have then?
Right, and I think that issue is going to go real quick.
Mm-hmm. For sure,
it's going to be a highly anticipated one. So, all right. So we talked about Flash Forward. Now we're on a number 4. We did that.
Oh, and Brandt's number 4 was Bang issue 1. That was that new Dark Horse.
I still didn't get that one either, so I'm kind of pissed off that you get
really
that. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about Deceased Unkillables. I'm probably the only one that actually read that one.
Yeah, you are.
Right. So yeah, this one was kind of cool because it's got the first day that this virus actually took place. Okay. And you get to see Batman, or is it Jason Todd and Cassandra Cain, who is Batgirl in this. And
that's cool.
Wears her Batgirl costume. Yeah. Which is kind of cool. You also get to see Ravager in this.
Shit, maybe I should just buy this book.
Yeah.
It's calling me.
It's cool. And Deathstroke, you see Deathstroke actually contract this virus, but we find out that he doesn't have the virus for very long because of his healing factor. So it rejects the virus and he's basically immune to it. And so you wind up getting to see all these villains like Mirror Master and Bane and certain people. They all go to this deserted island and they're just kind of hanging out until this virus passes. So I guess they can eventually take over the world. And then you wind up getting to see Jason Todd and Batgirl and Commissioner Gordon. They go to this particular school where it's kind of on lockdown. It's all, protected from the zombies or whatever they are. And there's this room where they're all being held at this school. And the one girl goes, yeah, there's this hero that put all these people in here that we've never seen before, but we haven't seen her or him since. I'm like, who is this person? So it was kind of cool. My only gripe about this particular issue is the artwork. The inking was like so streamlined and everything seemed kind of far away. And I felt like I had to like hold the book this close to get some of the, the good artwork in there. But I thought the story was pretty cool. It's fun. It's only 3 issues. It's not, overly done. I think Tom Taylor just wants to tell this little story and be done with it. And so I thought it was good.
Cool.
So that's it right there. So we talked about Valkyrie. So we'll see what other comments there are after we talk about our number 3. So, Michael, what was your number 3?
My number 3 was Teen Titans issue number 39. So we know that Robin is trying to assemble a team together to save Didio from the ring. And also the Book of the Damned or whatever I think that was called. And we have Alias who appears and he takes the ring and attacks the Teen Titans with his magic power, so to say. Red Arrow was the one that tried to stop him and everything, but since he has the 10 rings, you know, plus the ring that he had, that makes 10.
Mm-hmm.
He had like this huge power that could control like anything that gets thrown at him, so he can't be really killed that easily. So we get this thing about the Stone of Souls from Didio, and it's in order to be the devil, in charge of that, like where it is. And we get introduced to this new character called Jackham Thunder.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that?
No.
Jackham Thunder?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's basically the master of the Thunder Bolt. You know, not the Team Thunderbolt, just the Thunderbolts.
Definitely not the
general.
team. Two
I
different
kind of felt like
universes.
he was like a Static Shock ripoff almost.
Yeah. This issue for
Exactly.
me, I love Teen Titans, you know, all of us here do, but it was kind of slow. Like, I only liked the ending. Like, I was like, it was very crowded to me.
Yeah, it was
Wasn't
just
a
the
huge
whole
fan.
fact. The whole thing about the ending was that they need to go to hell to save Didio, and the only way to do that is that they all have to die.
Yeah, I thought that was
Yeah,
cool.
that's
I thought that was
cool.
a cool ending.
I'm on Cat's side with this one. This one was not my favorite out of all the issues. Like when I thought Didio War, I was expecting a little bit something different. I did
More
like,
emotional.
yeah, I did like how Amico tried to use this spell to try to, you know, save them, and she just doesn't have the experience. But when they introduced that what was it, the Thunder Kid, whatever the heck he was, I was like, I don't care about this guy. Like, I
it was a
don't
little
care
boring.
about him. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was just like, that was boring for me. And so not my favorite issue either. This is probably ranks down there in one of the lower issues for Teen Titans for me. Not to say that I think anything less of this book. It's just not my favorite particular issue of this one.
Yeah, I think I gave this 2.5 stars.
Right.
I'm just saying though that like in my opinion, like I respect your opinion, but I'm just saying for my opinion, for me I just thought it was a great issue, and I like Robin's character, that it just is continuously growing, that he's more of for the team rather than just for himself. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was definitely
right,
cool.
actually, yeah. But yeah, so that was my number 3.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. And Kat, what was yours?
Mine was Family Tree. We already talked about it.
Okay. And my number 3 was DC's Unkillable. So it was like the perfect timing for that. So we got any other comments on here that popped up?
There's one question. Dynamite's Libra, Shape of a Libra, just wrapped up last week. Anyone read it? Volume 1 trade comes out tomorrow. Best comedy book out, in my opinion. I have not, but I think it's the writer who did Betty Page did that one. So if you like that book, check out Betty Page. Other than that, I don't think there's any big comments. So if you guys have any questions, let us know.
Yeah, just initial comments, I guess. Yeah.
We had some, Wolverine issue 1 was
Yeah.
Genesis number 3. We had, Spawn, which was Tevia's number 3. And those are all the number 3s, I think, too. So
All right. Cool. So next we're going to talk about our actual number 2s. So my number 2 was actually Joker Killer Smile, book 3. So this wraps up the series. Man, this is a sad story, dude. And it's kind of weird how they try to make it into this children's book,
Really?
And at the end of the day, it's just like, oh, the clown got broken free from the castle, and at the end of the day, the clown is all free and happy, and he lives and gets to play, and the clown is the Joker. But in this actual book, we've gotten to see this doctor. It's very similar to like Harley's story, who the Joker absolutely manipulates and he goes insane. But throughout this story, we've got to see him actually lose his family in the process, because it's been years since he's been dealing with the Joker. And you really get to see the Joker really open up this guy's mind, being like, you are just, you've been wearing this mask this whole time. Now you've taken off your mask and you get to see, the world gets to see you on who you really are. And he paints his face as the Joker mask and everything. And it's just crazy. And he gets to the point where he actually goes to his wife's new house and his kid's house, and he's about to shoot them. And I mean, it's a sad story, man. I was just like, holy shit. And Jeff Lemire writes this. Sorrentino does the artwork, and the combination of these two, which they've done Green Arrow in the past and stuff like that. Absolutely amazing book. If there is a story that I recommend, this is the story to actually read. It's really, really good.
It sounds good.
It is,
at least
yeah.
the Black Label is doing something, right?
Yep, absolutely. So, Kat, what was your number 2?
Mine was Valkyrie, so we discussed it.
All right. And Michael, what's your number 2?
Number 2 is Amazing Mary Jane, issue number 5. And I'll keep it short and sweet because this book was actually a quick read and a cool issue. It was just really talking about how Mary Jane was finishing her movie role. And, Quentin was saying about he's like happy for success, but is hard on himself with some things. And I like how Mary Jane tries to be the motivator of him, like just always say, to keep his head up high and all that stuff. And meanwhile, she takes on the Savage Six. Seriously.
Yeah, I did not like that scene.
No,
I didn't like that scene because she like,
why?
Okay, Mike, did you read this issue?
No.
Because she has no superpowers and she's punching like a dragon and she just falls down.
But hold on. It shows, though, you don't need superpowers.
Oh, that physically makes no sense. Okay, look, Mike, she defeated Rhino with a kick. Then she defeated Black Spider. She defeated who else? The Vulture. She defeated dragons.
Wait a second. How?
She punches them, and that's it.
Come on.
What? I thought that was brilliant.
I just didn't think that made any sense.
She can't do that. That's like, but Michael, that's the saying, Cat going out there and defeating a super villain.
It doesn't happen. And, it doesn't take anything away from Mary Jane. She's a great character. I'm sure maybe she could defeat one of those, but can't do it with a punch. She would have to think about another alternative to defeat them.
But it wasn't just her. It was Quentin and the others that came and helped out.
In the end, after she punched 5 people that were the Vulture, Black Spider.
Sorry. I just thought, in my opinion, it was brilliant.
Oh no, that really took me out of the book. I'm like, I don't know how to feel about this one. This book is just weird to me. I love Mary Jane. As you guys know, we all love Mary Jane here, but I don't know what they're doing with this book. It's like, is it a superhero book? Is it a comedy book? Is it about Hollywood? I just don't know anymore.
And Sweet Extra says, Black Widow can do it. Why can't Mary Jane? LOL.
Because she's a trained assassin. Mary Jane is an actress who might have some martial arts background.
Maybe. Who knows? We'll learn more, I guess.
But Black... Yeah.
So,
is Mike? I think Mike's
a
little slow.
We can't.
She doesn't have experience.
She doesn't have experience. Boom.
That's Mary Jane that just kicked him out.
Yeah, exactly. Mary Jane also defeated Mike. when Mike comes back, I'm sure he'll give his comments about that book. But that was our number 2, I believe.
Yep.
Tevia says, except Mary Jane fought villains before. Yeah, no, I'm saying she could defeat villains, just not with a punch. She would need to do other stuff to defeat
powers.
She doesn't have superpowers.
No. I'm talking about in the alternate universe, like in the 616, I think, when she was Spider-Man, wasn't Spider-Woman, wasn't she? There was
not like 616.
No, wasn't there there was an issue where she had
Yeah, that's an Elseworld story.
Oh, Elseworld.
Yeah.
Thank you. I thought it was 616. That was
and that's different. Yeah, that was Renew Your Vows, so that was a whole different universe.
Right.
I'm not saying she's a bad fighter. I just think what she did there was possible.
I thought it was funny.
So all the other books are actually Mike's books, but I think we got some stuff from Brant. So his number 3 was Runaways. So he actually had Runaways higher than me this week. And then his number 2 was TMNT issue 103.
Mm-hmm.
So that is cool. I guess maybe we could go into our number 1s because Mike's not here. Or if you guys want to ask some questions, go for it.
Well, I mean, for number 1, for me, it's a book we already talked about from Under the Radar. The Cobra Kai, the Karate Kid saga continues.
Oh, no family tree in your top 5 this week?
I read 8 books this week, and I hate to do this, but I actually put it as number 7.
But you said the artwork was off for you, right?
Like, the artwork was okay. It was just that there was so many other books I read. Like, number 6 was Bloodshot issue 0.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was very close to being on my top 5. And 8 was Red Sonja Age of Chaos issue number 2. And I'm not saying it's the worst book or chopping. Like, all the books I read, all the 8 books that I read this week were actually really good. I couldn't really see them to be on my top 5, but Cobra Kai was definitely number 1 for me.
All right, Mike is back. So did you want to give any more comments on MJ? Mike said his number 1, which was Cobra Kai. So just because you had the books for the big books, those are the ones you read.
Yeah, that's why I dropped the book. Like, it wasn't the story I expected to begin with anyway. And now that you guys are telling me, like, she's fighting the bad guys with no superpowers, is just it just didn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me at all. So
yeah, it was a weird one. We also have some other questions. Are you excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier issue 1? Because I'm not sure if I'm going to pick it up. I'm not going to get it. I'm not really interested in either character.
I'm not going to read it.
I'm not either, believe it or not. I looked at it and I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I might pick it up tomorrow. I might change my mind. Maybe I'll look inside of it and see what it looks like, but I'm not really excited for it.
Yeah, so that answers your question on that one. I know it's a big one, and obviously because of Disney Plus TV show coming up, but so next is the 2 big books that you wanted to talk about, Mike.
Okay. So first one is Aquaman issue 57. So we get the birth of the Aqua baby, and it is a girl. We don't know the name of the baby yet, though. But with this baby being born, Mera is suffering through it because they were in this big battle, and so she wound up going into labor early. I think it was like 5 months.
Was she in the battle?
She was in the fight, and they wind up winning, and it put a strain on her. So in this issue, you see her lying down, and she's like, yeah, something's not right. So she goes into labor early, and she has to deliver the baby, and you get to see the baby at the very last page. And Aquaman just calls her princess. But we don't know if Mera's going to live. She's like in and out of consciousness and stuff like that. So
let's hope she survives.
Yeah. So it was a pretty good book.
We got Brant who comes up with a few names: kale, seaweed, kelp, coral. Okay, I'll stop. I see coral. Coral's probably the one to go with.
Coral.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. So yeah,
Coral curry.
It's interesting to see what might happen next and what could happen with this baby. So that's kind of cool. And then we have Guardians of the Galaxy issue 2, which I didn't care for the issue all that much until the end. You get to see our Guardians doing battle against all these gods. I didn't care. But at the end, we get to see Peter Quill sacrifice himself. So Peter dies in this issue because the place that he was in completely exploded. So I don't know what could have saved him. But we get to see Rocket, who sees him die. And the emotion that comes out of Rocket is just mind-blowing. You can't help feel that emotion for Rocket. You don't see that from him. You always see him be that tough guy, you know?
What
And
comic is this?
Guardian of the Galaxy.
Oh, Guardian of the Galaxy. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So you see Rocket always being that tough guy, and to him to reach out and be like, Peter, we got to go back and get him, and cry is awesome. So I really like that part of it. And so that keeps me on the book for right now.
We also have a question here from Tevia. Are you excited for Justice League Apocalypse Wars? I honestly didn't know that was a thing. So
what is that?
Nope.
Is that a book or something?
Well, let me look it up. I honestly am so not on the speed of Justice League. Oh, it's a movie. It's the animated movie.
Oh.
Probably not. Like I said, didn't know it existed until now. So it's a Justice League Dark movie. It looks like none of us. Well, maybe Michael would like it. Oh, we got Real Manos here. Hey, Justin.
What's up? What's happening?
And also, guys, a reminder: if you haven't commented yet, definitely comment so you are up to get some free digital codes. Thank Matt Gaming for that.
Yep.
All right, so those were the two other books that I wanted to talk about. So now I guess we'll go on to the number one, right?
Yeah, and I'll just read Brandt's. His was Valkyrie Jane Foster. Seems like all of us who read the book really enjoyed it.
Yep. And then mine was Batman, issue 89.
Nice.
And Michael?
Yeah, from before I said this, Cobra Kai, the Karate Kid saga continues. Issue number 3.
Sweep the leg. Wax on.
That's all it says in the comic.
Danielson. And Kat.
Mine was Red Mother, issue 3. Really enjoyed that book. I like that it kind of doesn't go on your expectations, because I thought that this puzzle would take issues to figure out, and she figures it out in this issue.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was like, oh, that's awesome. And yeah, I just love the pacing of this book. I enjoyed the ending. I like that she keeps trying to have a normal life. It's just not going to happen for her. Just a really good mystery / horror. It just tension is building, and it's so good.
Yeah, the puzzle was looked like a very complex puzzle. It had multiple, like you could take the key apart and it becomes another key. And this was in my panels this week where it was just like you could see her facial expression and how she was so into figuring this thing out. But the creepy ass thing of it is like she's calling this person, right? And it's like, and she's meeting him for lunch. That's just asking for trouble.
Yeah, and she's like, yeah, I guess I'll go, right? I want to know the mystery. Even though she got her eye chopped off and her boyfriend's maybe dead. She's like, yeah, I'm going to trust this stranger and have lunch with him.
And then it's kind of cool how the eye doctor sits there and it's just like, oh yeah, your prosthetic eye is very good, Daisy, and everything is great. And she's like, yeah, but I'm seeing some weird, crazy shit. And he's like, well, no, that's just, you're just not used to seeing less than what you saw before. And, your mind is trying to make up for it. And she's like, really?
So I'm just going crazy. I just love the characterization in this book. It really takes its time for us to love Daisy for all the shit she's got to obviously go through. This girl is going to be very wounded by the end of the series, I'm sure. And what I think it's going to be really cool is seeing this book from like this issue to like even issue 15 and where it's going to go.
Right. Exactly.
And Jesse's here too. Haven't been able to catch a live show in forever. Well, thank you, Jesse, for stopping by.
Absolutely.
We always appreciate it. And now you're part of our giveaway as well.
All right. So we talked about all our number ones. So we're going to move on to the chop and block. And I didn't put mine down, but I actually have one, and mine is Undiscovered Country. I'm not going to be reading that anymore. Just not into it, man. I don't want a book to be a chore. And if you're not into a particular story, especially a Scott Snyder story, like, don't force yourself to read it, because I think if you don't like it, you're just not going to like it as time goes on. So we'll see what happens with it. And so next, Kat, yours is Wolverine.
Yeah, mine is Wolverine issue 1. Yeah, just didn't give me enough for that next issue, and I got plenty of X-Men books to keep me.
Gotcha. And then Michael, you don't have anything. Everything's okay for you.
Yep. I was just saying before, because I don't think you were here. I said I read 8 books this week, and I was actually pretty satisfied with all the books I read.
You know, I add another one though, Michael. I really think you'd like Red Mother as well, just because it's a horror book. I don't know if you'll have time, but it's not that many
and
issues
it's
in.
such an easy read. It really, you get through it in like 5 minutes, but it's so good though.
And it's tense. It's like up your alley. I feel like, especially for as a horror book, I think you'll really like it.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to check it out then. Definitely.
Cool.
And then, I get this all the time. DNGN said that Daredevil is really good.
I know. I've heard so many good stuff, but I've never been a Daredevil fan.
Yeah. And I think by the time I found out it was good, it was like too late.
Mm-hmm.
So I might get it like maybe when it comes out in trade or whatnot. But people are saying that this is one of the best Daredevil runs.
Yeah, and one of the next to the Valkyrie, next to what other superhero books are good? Next to Valkyrie, they say it's a really good superhero book.
And Brant's Undiscovered Country is the half job for me. He didn't like this issue. But Brant, how long do we give this series a try, right? It's been like okay to just like I hate it. So it's like, how long do we give it a try?
Brant's given it one more issue. Yeah, I mean, I gave it after issue 2, I think. I read issue 2, and I'm like, all right. I gave 2 issues, not just because issue 1 was good enough where I'm like, I'm curious to see where this goes. Then after that, there was no real character development for me. So, chopping block is for Comic Universal. For me, it's Atlantis Attacks. So I think that's that Marvel book.
Yep. And then Zdarsky's DD run is already one of the best.
Yeah. What do you guys like better, Mark Waid's or this one? I only read Mark Waid's, so.
Mark Waid's was good.
Yeah.
I like that. I mean, I really enjoyed that run. I thought it was good. I'm not a huge Daredevil person either.
DNGN says, I'll warn you ahead, Daredevil isn't in costume for most of this run. It's really all about his downfall and redemption. Well, that's kind of cool in comparison to Kingpin. So.
I like that, though. I like someone's downfall. I think that's a great story, and then how they bounce back is cool, too.
And this is from Brant about Undiscovered Country. Yeah, I agree. I'm giving it one more issue. I actually liked the first couple. Issue 3 started to fall off. This one lost me a bit. So one more. And then Tevia's, all right, I guess it's not too bad, but he's just chopping off Legion of Superheroes. And we're going to take that off because let's not try to say anything bad about creators. But yeah, he's dropping Legion of Superheroes. And then Barry Allen, he's been reading some old comics. So he read some of Mike Grell's Green Arrow, and he really liked that.
See, people are going through withdrawal from their favorite DC characters, so they're reading old stuff from them.
Yeah, exactly. And Green Arrow, Mike Grell's Green Arrow is a good one to pick up. So I think we're on key issues. I guess I could do that. Mine, I just want to talk about quick. Amethyst issue 1. I just need a good DC book, a new DC book that I can enjoy. I'm hoping Amethyst, maybe it could be it. We'll see. I'm giving it a shot.
I don't think it's going to be good.
I'm trying to keep an open mind. I'm trying. The art looked good. Next up is Dial H issue 12, which I can't talk about because I already read it, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut. But check out interviews. I did a previous interview, and then next couple of days or tomorrow, an interview about this issue in particular, and the full series spoilers is going up in Newsarama, so definitely check that out. And Mike, did you want to talk about Dial H?
I haven't read it recently, so whenever that trade comes out, I'm going to get it, because I stopped reading it at issue 6 only because I fell behind in it and I just didn't pick up an issue or two, and then I was like, well, shit, now I'm behind. So I'm going to wait and get the trade and then read it all at once again.
Yeah, it's so good. Definitely check it out. I think it's definitely DC's best book out right now, which is sad because it's over now. So what do we got left? We already talked about Hell Arisen, so I'm going to skip that. The Amazing Spider-Man issue 40. I think it's continuing the podcast. Yeah, Michael, you could go first. I think it's continuing that storyline.
Yeah, I really want to see how that whole J. Jonah Jameson Spider-Man thing is going to... something else happens because the guy, well, what was his name? Not foreign. I couldn't even remember his name. The one that's going after him. But
I don't either. Just remember the costume.
Ooh.
Chance.
Oh, Chance.
Yeah, Chance.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
can't wait to
honestly,
see
that's obvious too.
That one, yeah. I'm so bad with names, but yeah, I can't wait to see how that's gonna turn out for that week.
Cool. Mike, did you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think that what Nick Spencer does a great job is incorporating J. Jonah more, because in past series, J. Jonah hasn't always been relevant. And so they make him more relevant now, and he's in Peter's life, and I love their interactions. And seeing Chance back in this book too is kind of cool, because he's a character that's not really focused on. So, and the humor's been really good in this particular story arc. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one also.
Cool. Next up is Giant Size Jean Grey and Emma Frost, which I've been super excited for. Like, these are two characters, when you put them in a room, what are they going to do? So yeah. I'm excited for that.
That's going to be a lot of fun too. I think the interactions between the two, I think, are going to be cool. Whatever they do together, I think it will be awesome. It's just unfortunate, like it's just a one shot. You know, it would be cool if they had a book together, see what it would be like.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. And then speaking of X-Men, we have the X-Men and Fantastic Four issue 2.
So that's kind of cool. I'm looking forward to that one. It's just the cliffhanger it wasn't really interesting. It was just like, oh, look, Dr. Doom's there to take over, Franklin and what's her
Valeria.
name? Yeah, Valeria. It was like, it's kind of predictable. It's like Dr. Doom's going to show up, right? So, but not that the book was bad in any way. The cliffhanger, I was just a little bit disappointed with.
And the last book is Finger Guns. This is from Vault. And I've heard a lot of buzz for this for a really long time, like a couple of months now. So this might be one of those books that kind of lights a fire, and you might want to get it for like key issue wise. It's supposed to be really good. So I'm going to pick up issue 1. I don't really know much about it besides, like, I think it's about teenagers who point their fingers and have powers. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I think if, you know what? I think if my shop actually has a copy on the shelf, maybe I'll pick it up, because I've heard same thing. I've heard some things about this particular book. So we'll see if they have it or not, though.
Yeah, let's hope. I hope. I had it on my pull list, so we'll see if my store has it or not. But yeah, a lot of buzz for that. But yeah, those are all the key issues. So we're going to pass it on to Michael so we can wrap up the show. And I don't have any of the bell banners, so we're just gonna, let me see, maybe I can find it.
All right. Well, before we go off, does anyone have any news that they want to talk about that's coming up, going on? And
Kat, do you want to do the giveaway?
Oh, right. Yeah. That's what we have to do.
And then we'll get to. Well, should I talk about my news or your newses, or?
Let's do the giveaway first, and then I don't have any news. I just found the banner, so that's why I said I do. Is because
I got one news, but I'll wait till the giveaway is.
Okay. All right. So this is the giveaway. We're gonna screen share.
Yeah. So you want to just talk about what the comic books are going to be?
Yeah. So the digital copies that we're giving away for this is Dark Agnes issue 1, and you're gonna have the codes. Oh no, it's Dark Agnes issue 1, Tarot. I'll tell you guys after. I'm not screen sharing. All right, let's go to randomize. And the first, it's Comic Intellect P who end up winning. I'm gonna take us off screen share. Now I'm gonna tell you what they are, and. It is Dark Agnes issue 1, Tarot issue 2, The Immortal Hulk Great Power issue 1, and Ruins of the Ravencroft Dracula. So congratulations. If you're still in the comments, please let us know because it makes it easier for us to track you down to try to give you the digital copies. So we'll have to figure out. Hopefully I can search you on YouTube and be able to find you.
Say the name again so they know.
It's the Comic Intellect P. So you are the winner. If you're in the comments, let us know. We'll give you the email in the chat so you can email us. So I'm going to do it on both chats.
All right. So I'll give my news before everybody starts, going away because of the giveaway. I do have 3 videos on my YouTube channel, Duderock18, that I have uploaded this past week. So hopefully you guys will go on there and check it out. And also feel free to go and to, subscribe to our individual channels as well as this channel, Comic Frontline, where we got a bunch of stuff. And just your support means the world to all of us. And we really hope you come back again for our individual channels as well as Comic Frontline.
I also want to thank Radio Mac Gaming. He said he's going to send more codes before next week. So thank you so much. We really appreciate that. And we'll be giving away even more. And I don't have anything to update on, but
no, real quick. I just want to say that I have my Facebook group page that's up and running. Guys can check it out. Comic Book Corner 2.0 Webheads Unite. It's a great group page. I'm building quite a bit of a community on there. What's great about it is I share kind of like articles that come out with comic book news every once in a while. Ask you guys how you feel. I do some polls on there. And then what I also do as well is I have an exclusive video series on there where I show my entire Spider-Man collection, 10 comics at a time. So, and you can only get it on the Facebook group page. You can't find it on YouTube. So just go ahead. Again, Comic Book Corner 2.0, Webheads Unite. And, just send me a request on there and I'll look you over and then I'll approve you and you'll be part of the group. So that's all I have.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Definitely go check out the group. And we have 34 viewers. Thank you. And then, of course, if you're just joining us, definitely go subscribe if you can. You can ring that bell if you want notifications about our show. We also have all that social media, which is just pretty much under Comic Frontline. And then, of course, like this video because that really helps us to get more viewers and to beat those YouTube analytics. So we really appreciate that. And we got Chi-Town Bud who just joined us. Sweet Access said he just joined the group. So we got some new people, new web heads there.
Yes. Yeah, Jesse's a webhead. He's on there too. Yep.
So please join the community and chat because we all love chatting with you guys. So thank you again. Hopefully next week we'll have everyone on and everyone's feeling better. So we will see you guys then. All right, bye.
This Comic Book Weekly, and we're all saying see you later and happy new Comic Book Day tomorrow or soon, whenever you are in the time zone.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah,
thank you.